Georgetown got off to a great week, picking up two commitments, two T100 kids, Faith Woodard out of Florida, Shayla Cooper also out of Florida. They played club basketball together with Essence. Like I said, both in the top 100. Woodard was also considering South Florida. Cooper had a whole myriad of schools, had already taken an official visit to Texas A&M, a top 40 kid, actually Norcross, Georgia for high school, but has played with Essence her whole career and is from the Tampa area originally. Big pickup there for the Hoyas. They kind of lead off with the major storyline there. You add those kids along with Jade Martin out of Minnesota, who they've had committed for a while, and then Kelsey Briggs out of Memphis, Tennessee, a top 150 caliber kid who probably is going to be a three-player for the Hoyas. And Keith Brown has done a great job after taking over for Terry Williams, who now is the head coach at Auburn. Georgetown has been in the NCAA tournament. They have that experience. None of these kids are necessarily Sugar Rogers in terms of a top 10 or 15 kid in their class coming out of high school. But the depth of four top 150 caliber kids definitely makes it a heck of a week for Brown and his staff up there in the nation's capital. Turning our attention to Kentucky, we talked about them with Big Blue Madness during Visitation Nation going into the weekend. J.C. Coe, 2014 kid out of Tennessee, picks the Wildcats after Big Blue Madness. She had been up there a couple times unofficially. I was also considering Ole Miss, had some other options there in the SEC. Georgia was in the mix. Vanderbilt was trying to get in the mix, so some people were really interested in her. Sharp shooter, can push the basketball, can stretch it, push it in terms of being able to shoot it out 24, 25 feet, make the defense come out and guard her. Puts you in the mind of a Rebecca Greenwell. Maybe not as good off the bounce, but has that size, can shoot the basketball well, and ironically played on the same club team as Greenwell with Tennessee Flight last summer. Looking at DePaul, actually now in the Midwest, Jessica January from Minnesota, a kid that I really liked a lot. Had a chance to watch her play at an event in Chicago 2 years ago and was a big fan of the way she pushes the tempo, her style of play, her ability to score the basketball, make open jumpers. Will play point guard for Doug Bruno. That's huge. That's a top 100 kid for them, helping to really get things rolling there in Chicago. Bruno does such an excellent job. You look at the progress of a kid like Anna Martin, and you can only imagine what's going to happen with Jessica January during her 4 years there in Chicago. Moving East Carolina, I think, had a great week. Only picking up one kid, but Jeffany Brown, who was a reclass kid, originally a member of 2012 class, was a Super 60 caliber kid there. We had her in the top 100 out of the Washington, D.C. area. She now has moved. She's attending prep school, La Lemire in Indiana, working on getting her test score up. Core GPA was fine, but working on her test score. Powerful kid, about 6'1", four-player, left-handed, can attack the rim, can attack the bucket, both ends of the floor in terms of going to get basketballs off of the glass and making life hard for the other team. It's hard to keep her off the glass. She's a monster. Saw her last year at the Beast of the East Showdown. Also saw her at the Elite 32 Summer Jam in Augusta. Just a terror, tough to do anything with. Is definitely going to make an impact there for the Pirates next fall. Looking at Delaware, they picked up Shanice Johnson out of Pennsylvania. Cardinal O'Hare there. Another kid that can really get the job done on the rebounding end of the floor, whether that be inside defensively or offensively. Nice perimeter skill, can score the basketball 15 feet and in. Gives them a similar option, Delaware, that being similar option to Brown at ECU, I think. Kind of that 6'1" post player and who can do some different things, can even help handle the ball against the press. You can hit her in the middle of the floor, let her push the ball up, and then play 2-on-1, 3-on-2 with some numbers. Obviously, Tina Martin and her group there at Delaware capitalizing on the success that they've had as a program, thanks in large part to Elena Deladon's play. This is her last year, so Johnson will be counted on to come in and help as a committee try to replace her production. And then last but not least, definitely Tulsa with the addition of Stevie Parker. Parker played in the summer with Oklahoma and won. Big addition to what is a signature class, I think, for Coach Mossman, Coach Castro down there in Tulsa, Oklahoma. 6 players in the 2013 class. They added depth a little bit of everywhere. They got guard help. They got post help. They get Parker, who is an in-state kid, to kind of close it out. I think that definitely is icing on top of the cake. For those guys, they had a top 5 class last year, mid-major-wise nationally. This class appears to be the same and definitely is going to put the Hurricanes in a position to be